Okay, so the way I like to start is to see kind of a baseline where you are.
Yeah.
Doing great.
Okay, I'm going to be honest. It's not good. Having a bird that flies is very different for me than not, and so trying to train him, because he'll just take off, you know what I mean? Like that, like that. So I used to be like his thing, and he loves it. Now that he knows he has his freedom, he kind of just takes off, and that's why I don't have really anything. I mean, I can try the egg. I think I'm going to try the egg. Okay, let me go get that.
Yeah, going back to that pyramid, food, water, shelter.
Yeah.
Here it comes.
Use that as an opportunity to say, like, okay, what am I doing surrounding the moment when the bird leaves? Mm-hmm. Right? Did I set myself up for success? Is the diet and sleep right? Mm-hmm. That's the number one thing.
Right.
Is the treat right? Mm-hmm. Am I using something that the bird likes?
Yes.
If you're not keeping the bird's attention, your treat's probably not right.
Okay.
It also could mean that you aren't engaging enough in that interaction, so the bird's either getting bored or you've done too many repetitions.
Yeah.
But having a fully flighted bird makes you a better trainer.
Okay.
Because if you screw up, they leave.
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
And so it's
then
a really good
instead
test
of
to see where you are.
He'll just leave the situation, and then I know.
And you whatever you did right before he left,
Yep. Was right.
put that in your notebook as like, I waited too long to do a repetition, he flew off. Mm-hmm. Or whatever it might be, and start to
Step up.
I'll go through this off camera, but I'll show you kind of what that timeline looks like in what I call the ABCs, but I'll illustrate that here in a minute.
Okay.
Okay. Like you said, that
I've done a little,
birdie
but
bond,
not
that
much.
baby bond was there.
Yeah.
And now that it's leaving,
Yeah.
You
there's the
realize you
struggle.
don't
Yeah.
have any foundation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of,
Yeah.
sort of.
Kind of, sort of, nailed it.
Kind of, sort of, yeah.
Kind of, sort of. Well, that's what I mean by yeah. I didn't want to really,
Kind of, sort of, is
Kinda,
Boston
sorta.
for
That means
yes.
Yes.
So you haven't trained target?
I've done a little,
I've
Oh,
done
okay.
a little bit with
and
him.
he's done a little.
His feet.
He just stepped on his own feet.
He's gonna try to turn Greg's ass. Click.
That was very slow. Good job.
So, are we set up for success? How likely are we to lose him to boredom here?
Very.
Yeah, he's one of those ones that you do it, and then he's like, okay, like 2 or 3 times, and then meh. You know what I mean?
If you're experiencing failure, go back to where you're last successful and slowly rebuild it from there. What could we do prior to the steps we're at now to increase the likelihood for more than 3 reps?
Move him to another area.
Let's
No.
go back further than that.
Change
to
his diet.
Diet.
Do it when he's
Diet?
hungry.
diet and
I
sleep.
think diet's
Oh.
the big one because he already ate 60 grams of crop.
So that's
You
why
see
he
his
doesn't
crop
want
right
to
now.
eat.
Yeah.
That's huge. So that's the reason. Okay.
So
Yeah.
it's not boredom and that he's,
He just gets
losing,
tired because
losing,
he's
full.
not.
He's losing
not.
interest because his task in life every day is to find food.
Okay.
His task is complete.
Okay.
Why is he going to work hard to find food?
So we got to find the right time to feed him so he's motivated. I mean, not to feed him, to do training when he's more motivated for food.
Yep, 100%. Yeah, so think of motivation as not hunger, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you can motivate through hunger, but it's not the route we want to take. Motivation is providing an opportunity to earn the food when the bird is most likely to want to earn it. It doesn't mean that the bird has to be hungry to earn it, because sometimes birds that are full, like Harley, for example, would do anything for a pistachio or whatever.
Right.
So, was Harley hungry? No.
Right.
But willing to work for the treat.
Yes.
In this case,
He's not willing to work.
he's neither, right?
Yeah.
He's not hungry, he doesn't really
Right,
care
right.
too much about the treat.
Right.
So we would want to train with this one right before breakfast.
Okay.
And kind of take advantage of that natural 12 hours of sleep
Yep.
to where it's like, okay, he'd be waking up, he would be looking for food. Oh, look, here's an opportunity for you to look for food and earn it.
Yep.
Which he's
And-
very motivated in the morning to get his food.
Yeah. So it's a matter of just working during that time frame.
He just bypassed the stick and you shoved it in his face to try to make him
I'm like,
successful.
here.
He was gonna step up on it.
Oh, look how hungry he is.
Look
He's
at
not
him.
hungry at all.
So motivation factor of like 2 here. Maybe 1. Motivation level Theo. If you watched our master classes, we have this great video of Theo. We're like, target, and she goes to target and like skips it and just goes to the shoulder. Like,
On family friendly.
oh yeah, that's kind of about where we're at. So, are we set up to succeed?
No.
No.
Correct. So what can we do to be set up for success? Hint for tomorrow.
We will not feed him in the morning and do a session in the morning and then feed him.
Yeah. And maybe even go so far as like a little bit lighter dinner tonight,
Okay.
so there's not leftover pellets
Okay.
to consume in the morning,
Sure.
so that he's getting the proper amount of dinner, nothing extra.
All right.
So we're not intentionally trying to make him hungry. We're just saying, hey, here's everything you need for today to fulfill your quota, but let's avoid an opportunity to eat before training.
Okay.
And we'll just train him first and early.
Perfect.
Bye, Bruin.
All right, bro. You were quick. Failure. You got a big F. You're gonna get it on your forehead.
Here's your treat before you do the big.
Who gets the big
Who
apple?
gets the big F?
Oh yeah, I know.
So the very next day, Mike and Michelle set Bruin up for total success, and we figure out that through talking, the food that Bruin is most excited about is actually our morning seasonal feeding system. So we decide that the next time we attempt to train him, we're actually going to use his breakfast. Not just that, but we're going to use how they normally feed his breakfast in the bowl that they usually feed it in to motivate him to fly.
And he's capable. You could probably sit back on the couch and call him with that bowl.
What? What did I do?
So now you can call him. I know, you're capable. Now he can have a little bitty treat.
Nice.
Did I do that wrong too?
No, just. I'm still eating.
I feel like such
So we're so excited. I have sped up this footage so that you can see that Michelle is learning to read Bruin's body language. So that's why all the laughs. And during this process, Dave has learned that with Mike and Michelle especially, it's way more effective in their learning process for him to speak as though he's the bird. And it just has us in stitches laughing a ton over the course of this 3-day in-home consultation between all the different birds that we're working with in their flock. So that's why we are just cracking ourselves up. And the cool little nuances of being able to read a bird's body language when it wants to fly, is intended to fly, maybe when it's starting to get distracted or lose patience, all those things are really, really important for you guys to key into with your own bird and be able to read. One of our goals here is getting Mike and Michelle to the point where they can actually work effectively together, and hopefully without Dave and I, on training their birds. So I think you guys are going to find a lot of value in the next part of this video that I'm about to share, which really demonstrates how we achieved getting them to really be the trainers.
As we were saying yesterday, one of your drills is an after-action report, right?
Yes.
So what went well, what needs improvement? And since you have the absolute fortune of having an outside eye, you two, as if we're not here, discuss what went right, what went wrong.
There wasn't consistency. Your hand position was up and down.
Yep.
But the big one was you had the treat in your hand,
Yeah.
which you couldn't see.
Yeah.
If you had left all the treats in the bowl and used the bowl as the treat,
Yep.
and then when he flew to you, then you could have picked the treat up. But for me, that I thought was the biggest piece.
Okay.
Was you weren't using the treat that he was really motivated to,
True.
which was that.
Right.
And on top of it, like we get nervous when we're doing it, so all of a sudden it got a little rushed. And as being a Caique, he was definitely in a hurry. He wanted to do stuff on his time,
Right.
So that's what I saw.
I think you got it.
Yeah, I think you got it. It was just a lot of mixed cues. The bowl
That's
was
what
a
I
cue,
mean.
your hand was a cue, the voice was a
And I
cue.
think that's confusing. it's very confusing for him because he doesn't know, like, what do you want from me? Your hand, like, what do you want? I'm supposed to be flying to you, but you're not showing me the proper cue, which is the bowl, which is the motivator.
So yeah, with any bird training or with any training, you want to start with what's working, and that's why the commentary is like, "Show me the bowl. There it is, wee," right? Like,
Yes.
so when he saw the bowl, that was when he was wanting to fly.
Right.
So let's set that up.
Okay.
Right. Not that we want to use that for the forever process, but if it's a means of getting this pattern of I fly to you to get something out of the bowl, I fly to you to get something out of the bowl, I fly to you and you hand me something out of the bowl. Cool, now we can start to phase out the bowl.
Okay.
Right? I fly to you, you hand me something from the bowl. And then eventually the bowl's behind you and he flies to you because he knows the treat's coming. We'll just skip the bowl now.
Okay.
But we start with whatever's working and then we modify it from
Okay.
there.
So here's the progress we were able to make just over the course of a few days based on changing the treat from what we thought was Bruin's favorite treat of egg or nuts or seeds to actually using his breakfast of his seasonal feeding system instead.
Bruin?
Look at this long recall we were able to get from across the room.
Sorry. Yeah.
Bruin?
Here you go.
We were able to get Bruin to fly from any point of this room the entire length. It was so, so cool. Hopefully some of these tips help you achieve this with your own bird at home.